Welcome to a tutorial about using JStor. JStor is a database that Bristol Community College does not own, so we use it through the Boston Public Library. And you need an e-card in order to log on to this particular database. There is a tutorial embedded in your course guide about how to get an e-card, and anyone who lives in Massachusetts can get an e-card. Okay, so we're at the Boston Public Library website, bpl.org. We're going to click on Books and More and go to Online Resources. And then we're going to go to Literature, Books, and Reading. If you were doing a history paper, you would click on History. But either way, if you get to JStor, you can do a search for either subject. We're going to scroll down to JStor. Now, if you have not logged in yet, you will get a login screen asking you for your e-card and for your password. Your password's always going to be the last 4 digits of your phone number. I've already logged in once today, so it's automatically popping up to the search screen. When you get to a search bar like this in any database, you always want to click Advanced Search. And now we're at our search screen. So I'm going to do King Arthur and heroism. I'm not changing any filters or anything at this point. I'm just typing into these. And if you had another search term, you could add another search box by doing that. I want content that I can access, meaning I want items that I can get to right away. So just leave that and hit search. So now I have 5,563 results, which is way too many. When you're starting out, though, it's good to cast the widest net. What can you find by using these search terms? And when you see under each article, they have these topics listed. So now you can start to look through and think about what your thesis statement is about and look for articles that have heroism as part of their topics, because that will help you kind of cull down which ones you want to look at. You can also just filter or narrow down by clicking on only journals. Book chapters are good as well, but you might want to do a search just on book chapters. What journals are scholarly articles that are written about literature. And there are people out there at universities and colleges doing research just like your own professor, and they're doing different topics. So here we have papers that were written about King Arthur. You don't necessarily need to change the publication date. You could scroll down and look at the subject list and scroll down to either history or, if you're doing literature, language and literature. So now I've taken about half of those away. I have 2,300, still too many, but there are a bunch here that I can take a look at. So I'm going to pick one. So I guess we'll do this one. So what it does now is it opens up to the actual article. So I could sit here and read through this whole thing, which I suggest you probably read the introduction, which can sometimes go on for a page. So it's only one page. That will give you an idea of whether you want to continue on with the article. You also have an abstract which summarizes what this is about. You have the journal article title here. It was published in this journal. It's volume 25, number 3 in the fall of 2015, and the number of pages. There is a cite tool in this database, so you would be using MLA. You would copy that. I notice an error right away. These are input by humans, so this would need to be fixed. You would need to make this lowercase, and it's wrong for each of these different types of citation styles. So just double check them. It's a good place to start. You can copy and paste this into a Word doc or Google Doc, but like I said, double check them. And you have a lot of different keywords here. So let's say you think, oh, this is kind of an interesting article. It doesn't really have heroism in the keywords, but I like that it has, masculinity or chivalry or something like that. So you could do another search of King Arthur and chivalry and see what comes back. You can also email this to yourself. You can save it to your desktop and you can download the PDF. And I suggest for some of you, downloading the PDF can sometimes be helpful because you can highlight right on the document and keep track of notes that you've made. So that can be a really useful tool. So that's pretty much it on how you search JStor. If you have any other questions, please book an appointment with me or send me an email.